But first, to catch people up on, I don't remember what this was. I think I was testing something on this one, just like I was testing something on that one. You can probably guess the kind of test this was. Um, yeah. So to remind people where we left off, yesterday we started a proper push into the prison. Like we had actually technically started it the day before, but it was just like pushing the road. So we have cleared it. There's like the whole building of the prison. We came in from the main entrance. We've kind of wrapped around the whole side there. We had a helicopter, helicopter event at the prison that we did that went pretty well. But we are playing at 16 times population, multiple helicopters, which is the setting of sometimes, which is about 2 to 3 helicopters a month. These zombies do not respawn in our settings. We are running very, very, very close to vanilla. I do technically have a couple mods like minimal display bars, but I have that fully hidden. Weapon condition indicator, which I've hidden as much as I can without removing it. I personally recommend against removing mods after you started a run. I've seen that corrupt save files before. But the agenda for today is we're going to keep pushing the prison. I am actually hoping that by the end of stream, we will have cleared the prison. We'll see if that actually holds true or not. But we have been making really good progress there. And also yesterday's stream, pretty early on in the stream, we had a helicopter event during a tropical storm with fog. Hair looking fresh. Yeah, no, I just, like, I mean, this is usually, like, almost every stream, like, right before stream, like, I take a shower, I figure out what I'm eating, maybe get a couple of, chores done that I need to, like, I've already got my dinner going, so all that has to happen when my wife gets home is just have to put it in stuff, and it's done. Yay, slow kirkers. Yeah. So, I need to make sure I grab water when we go downstairs. But give me just a minute, because I got to get those push-ups that were redeemed, and I'll be right back. So, let me get those. Okay, and the moderator computer is not up. One, sorry. There we go. Alright, so let's get this party on the road for a slightly early start, only, push the go live button roughly 15 minutes ahead of normal. We did have a close call on these stairs yesterday. Wait. This window was destroyed the last time we played. Like, very distinctly, this window was destroyed. Alright. I mean, I'm cool with it not being destroyed. I'm just confused by the fact that it's not destroyed. I don't think there was an update to Project Zomboid in the last day or so. If I'm wrong, please correct me. And if I'm wrong, please tell me what changed. Because that could be important information. But that window's still destroyed, right? Yeah, that window's still destroyed. I don't know what's happening. Yeah, I mean, like, it doesn't matter. It's a bathroom window. But, like, it's just like, wait a second. I distinctly remember that window was destroyed. That's the reason we're making sure to keep that door closed. Yeah, and all the other windows are destroyed. Weird. Cursed window is cursed. I mean, cursed in a good way, I guess, but cursed nonetheless. Yep, so we are just pushing the prison. We made pretty good progress the other day. Just gotta keep at it. But I do hope everyone's having a good day, and it is good seeing everyone hop in here real quick. Always nice to start a stream when it's, everyone just hops in right away. Alright, today and tomorrow are supposed to be, like, hot and sweaty days, like 85-degree high, there's a chance I might have to lose another layer of clothing. We'll see. I don't mind getting unpleasantly hot and burning through a bunch of water. That I don't care about. I just don't want to cross into that area of overheated, because then that gets super dangerous. I find it amusing that every time I play, it seems, my character's, the font color for my character's speech changes. Like, some days it'll be pink, some days it'll be, like, aqua. Yeah, so welcome to stream. You know, Marvelous Addy, the Greater Danish. Wait, did I record those push-ups? I didn't record those push-ups. Sentient Cookie, Fenrir, Ichitenman, or Ichitenma? Yeah, I need to record those push-ups, I didn't. And that is how my push-up counts get wrong. Because I forget to take results, because I have my mind in 30 places. So we should be at 300, or 3,170 after those. So it looks like I forgot to update the label a few times yesterday. None of that surprises me. Hey, Darstrider. How's it going? Got our zombie up there. Darcher saying, I think I found out what's going on in my Skyrim. Yeah, you said you were, you're going mod heavy and then just something was borking on you. Which has always been a thing, like, I usually mention that, like, I usually go very light on the mods in pretty much almost every game I play, with a very few rare exceptions. And that's usually the reason why, is just, I always find to run into, like, stability issues and just randomly really hard things to diagnose. And like when you have like problems with the base game of stuff, usually you can get real good like, oh hey, here's your problem, here's how you fix it. But then when you get into the weeds of the mods, it's like, yep, no idea. It's a mod, try again. I wonder if after this stream, if you'll manage to actually go and test that whole thing with the short knife animation issue. I keep forgetting to actually check in that ticket. It somehow, actually, the Steam folder duplicated itself, managed to duplicate itself. Okay. Interesting. Let's get close enough that we can actually catch the Ennis broadcast, because I don't really have a good idea of when to expect the helicopter. I don't remember how long it's been. Today is going to be hot as hell. Understood. No wind, so we're just going to be like standing in stagnant air and sweating. That sounds like a perfectly miserable day. I mean, 85 is not the world's worst temperature, but it is certainly not comfortable. For those of you Celsius, to give you an idea what like a comfortable outside temperature would be, is like 72 is what we consider room temperature. Like some might find that a little cool. That's pretty standard. Yeah, such a cookie. 85 Fahrenheit is ew. Yeah, it's you go outside and you get a little sticky, sweaty. You're not like I'm gonna collapse from heat stroke, but you're just like, I'm just uncomfortable, not having a good time. Let's see, Colo, good day, Colo. Fair to say, oh please, it's 50 or something outside right now. It feels glorious compared to the -20 we had a month ago. So I personally have always been more of a cold weather person. I very much am a fan of like the 50s and 60s in temperature. To me, are wonderful because like that's the point. You toss on like a sweater, and that's all you need, or a hoodie. You don't need to like really bundle up or anything. Just a little bit, so you can kind of like really adjust how hot or cold you want to be by just okay if you want to be a bit on the brisk, cool side, you wear a t-shirt. If you want to be like a bit more comfortable, like hoodie. If you're someone who says gross, coldness, you can wear your parka. Darcer said, yesterday, I saw snow in a freezer truck. I mean, that checks out. Alright, Gabe, let's not start today with the Tropical Storm helicopter. We did that yesterday. I don't need that in my life. Well, it went fine. It was definitely like, I'm glad there's not many zombies here, because it was not smooth sailing. I have ice in my freezer. Does that count as snow? I mean, yes. But kinda no, but yes. And a Cookie also saying, 50s to 72 is great. Darstar agreeing, that is some solid snow. I see what you did there. I'm catching what you're throwing down. Alright, so we got some straggling packs here. Like, I would genuinely like today's stream to wrap up with us starting our push to the Redacted in the southwest. I have zero expectations of reaching the Redacted in the southwest, because that is going to be an absolute slog. Like, I've been joking with Mr. Lamprey UK that, like, you know, he's got his push going on. It's like, you know, I want to catch up, and I'm like, yeah, you're just gonna catch up. Like, you've got a steady thing going where you have a higher kill count per day on average, versus like I have days that I peak a bit higher, but then I have way more days that I just don't get the kills because I gotta commute, I gotta deal with other stuff. So I'm like, yeah, you're gonna take the lead, and cool, do it. Because I eat fish? I mean, the fishing doesn't really seem to be that big of a cost sink for me. How many locations am I planning on clearing? Yes. Yeah, no, all the major cities, all the population hubs, all the major points of interest, basically everything that isn't just random forest. How many bodies are here? I have no idea. I know yesterday's stream we killed more than 5,000 zombies. I don't know the exact count. And almost all of them are here. Yep, them all, absolutely. Point of interest. I mean, we're talking about going to the Redacted in the southwest. If I have that on my list, pretty much everything else probably makes the list. Like, maybe I won't go and kill some random shack in the middle of the wood that's gonna have like one zombie at it. Mostly because I don't want to take the time to have to cut through all the trees to reach said shack in the middle of the woods. Yeah, I'm curious. So the thing I'm finding with this, did you do that with migrations or redistribution turn off as a curiosity? Because what I'm thinking happened, it could also be because of the helicopters, that I am not seeing nearly those kind of quantities of zombies here. Like, by all means, I would not be surprised if we burned through 10k zombies here. That I would wholly believe. But with what I've seen so far, I would be surprised if there's 20,000, 30,000 zombies in here. Yeah, so what I'm thinking happened is because of all the helicopters. We had like 6 or 7 helicopters we dealt with in Rosewood. Is I'm thinking we drew away a ton of the zombies here. I can give you an idea here in a moment. Just let me get the zombies dealt with. What I'm thinking happened is, we drew away most of the zombies that were here, and that's part of why Rosewood is such a meat grinder inside. Hey, Introducer. The push-up count is only 10 so far. You only missed one. Alright, so give me a moment. I'll give you a idea of what we're talking with size here. So, if you look, this is the house we spawned in when we started. So, just a simple normal house. This big purple thing, like that's the building of the prison itself. And then this, like these are the watchtowers, so that gives you kind of an idea of the perimeter of it. Yeah, so there's kind of your size comparison. Regular house to here. So the prison's a pretty big location. Like I said, I'm guessing what's happened is we were talking about that it was really weird just how many zombies we were going through trying to push into Rosewood. Like, even for a city, I was like, wait a second, there's like a lot of zombies I'm dealing with. And so our theory was that we were pulling all those zombies from the forest, which is true. But I'm thinking it's also we were pulling them from the forest around the prison. You know, kind of as a result, now that we've done that, the prison itself is quieter. By the nature of we've already killed a lot of its residents. That said, we haven't gotten inside the building yet, because my plan is to clear the outside perimeter first. Make sure we're all good and sound out there, so that while I'm dealing with the prison, I'm not dealing with nosy neighbors getting themselves involved. You can still see I definitely have zombies on the outside of this area. Yeah. Was that zombie down there on the right? Hacking a machete? I only got a brief look at it. Could be a bread knife. It's almost always a bread knife. But it looked curved, and it was definitely not a katana. Makes me think machete. That's probably a bread knife. Nah, it's a bread knife. Don't tease me. That's not nice. I'm gonna have to go along the fence line and just randomly select some zombie to stick with a knife. And I'd say I'd feel bad about it, but as many zombies as Dr. Ellen Ennis has killed, pretty sure she's incapable of emotion at this point. There's no way she's gotten through this and, you know, is still in a good state of mental health. No zombie bombs so far. Like I said, we haven't gone in the prison. That's where I expect to run into the zombie bombs. Because what ends up happening is they have a bunch of windows that are barred, and the zombies can't destroy those windows as far as I'm aware. If they can, it's like such an absurdly amount of life that's not going to happen. And it's those windows are where the zombie bombs happen. Because there'll be a bunch of zombies piled into a single square. You'll get within range to aggro the zombies away from the window, and that's when the zombie bomb goes. Because the game's just like, oh, I have 50 zombies in one square. I gotta sort this out. And so zombies just go. And if there's enough zombie, it just literally expands over you, and then you just die. Now, Farron said, don't forget also, you can shoot through the stairs if you have any clusters under a staircase. Yeah, I haven't noticed any stair zombies, but like I said, I haven't really spent much time inside of buildings. And I'm not going to be able to execute any, because they'll be aggroed to me through the fence. And so it'll prevent me from being able to execute at all in this area, which I'm actually okay with. Like, execution, that move is really nice when, you know, you're super, like super exerted, or super tired, or whatever. Like, you know, your damage is just crap. The execution still one-shots. That's good. But for, like, just fighting the random zombies, I'd rather just poke them twice. Excuse me. There you go. Just don't look at them. They don't like when you stare at them. Mm-hmm. 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 Alright. Yeah, so this is the way we've been clearing around the prison. My plan is basically, like I said, do the perimeter of the prison. Deal with that first. Man, we hit Queasy fast that time. Well, I guess not. I guess it is 3. I've just not been keeping good track of time. I was just like, wow. It's like only mid-morning. How are we already Queasy? Oh, wait, never mind. It's mid-afternoon. That checks out. Oh, hey, you. I didn't even see you back there. You're just all disinterested? Not wanting what I'm throwing down? I mean, it's fair. I'm preparing to stab you, so... Like, sitting back and ignoring me is maybe a survival strategy? Like, you're kind of going for the... Well, if we don't agitate her, maybe she'll leave us alone. I mean, it's not going to work. But, you know, at least it's a different strategy. Why am I... I was like, shouldn't those last 3 have, like, died there? Oh. I forgot the gate's farther down this way. There we go. That's the rhythm I want. A zombie body every 1.5 seconds or so. Because, I mean, Mr. Lamprey is 100% going to catch up and pass us on kills. But I at least want to make him work for it. Can't let him have it for free. Yeah, Packy says, the grind continues? Yes. Thank you for the follow. Lucas Kenny, welcome to the stream. No, the Aeon Worm is saying, is Queasy from the dead bodies, or did you get infected? It's from the bodies. You'll probably know if I get infected, because I do not sleep anymore once I get infected. Usually the way I go with infection is we either go completely like Rambo, where we shirk all of our bodily needs of our sleep, and just go to kill. Or like we drive really fast. I'll do something completely reckless. Realistically, I'm going to try and drive to Louisville if we were to get infected. I probably will not succeed, because trying to pass through the West Point area on these kinds of pops, you just get bogged down and your car can't do anything. Integer Smirk says, see, now this kind of competition... Yeah, no, I'm still, like... This past weekend I did play Project Zomboid. It wasn't like a competition thing. It was more just... We've decided we're going to like be pulling RimWorld from the channel just because right now it's gradually had a declining audience on Twitch. Just in general, not just my stream. So I'm like, alright, it's time to pivot our secondary game and do a different secondary game. Is that a hunting knife? No, it's a kitchen knife. Get out of here. And then this last weekend, I was just like, I don't know. So, it's indecision that kept me playing Project Zomboid this past weekend. And I'm genuinely pushing for partner, and Project Zomboid is my best performing game, so, you know. You gotta do the hustle. And Booty Paper deleting their points, going, these points are heavy, I don't want to get exerted, the zombies are scary, let's drop these things off and be rid of them. Oko says, go try to get airborne and do a flip. No. I've said pretty much every time I'm not going to flip my car. That's not going to change. Like, there's really no point in asking. Oh, I mean, if we're infected? Yeah, actually. I take the back. I'm sorry. Context. If we're infected, yes. I am down. Yeah, that is what we will do if we get infected. If we get infected, we're going to spend one day piling up as many bodies onto a single point as possible. We will take this whole area and we will pile them up into one square and drive as fast as we can pull it off over them to just see what happens. I'm sure it will be spectacular, but that's only if we get infected. That is actually legitimately a good idea of something to goof off with when we have nothing left to lose. That said, I don't plan on getting infected. Alright, sentient cookie cashed in 10 push-ups. We'll get those here in a minute. We also have a hydrate, which I'll do right now. Oh man, Integer Smirk saying maybe you can build a zombie ramp over the military checkpoint and jump it like Starsky and Hutch. I don't think, just this is me going programming mind. I don't think when we look at this fence that the fence has like a I'm an 8 units tall or whatever it is, and that you can jump over. I think as far as cars are concerned, this is an impassable square, and it's just, you know, Boolean, it is impassable, it's not. That said, well, I don't think we'd be able to, in the time, be able to set up to go over the military area, because that's going to be months and months and months away. I could see doing, you know, if we get infected, like the prison wall or wherever we can find a tall wall, like this style of wall. Whatever the nearest one is that we have a ton of zombies at, again, spend a day, just pile up the zombie corpses. I'm guessing, if I was trying to jump this wall, I'm guessing the corpse would need to be back here-ish. So that's going to be guesswork that we're going to only get one shot at, because once I ramp it up and we're in the sky going 100 miles per hour, we're not going to survive the landing. But I'd be down to try that if we get that point. Adarsh said, don't let the Zeds get you, but if they do get you, Evel Knievel. Yes. The Antworm said, if you post a YouTube video of, I killed 100,000 zombies without dying, it'll pop off. So someone's actually done that. Rual with Cheese TV has already done the 100,000 zombie kills without dying. So that wouldn't be a first. And he does have a YouTube, and I'm sure it's on there, because if I were him, I'd totally have it on there. I'm 99.9% sure he has that video up there. I think I've actually seen the video up there. But then that's the thing though. Mr. Lamprey is going for the first person to kill 1 million zombies. And so like my run's also going to be over 1 million zombies, but he's going to beat me there. Like that's I have long since accepted that he's going to beat me there, which is fine. I actually like that's not my goal. My goal is to be the first to wipe out the entire map at maximum population. So I owe 10 push-ups. I'm going to do those, and I'll come back and I'll do that stretch. Okay, let me go ahead and quickly record those push-ups. Because if I don't, and I get distracted, I won't. And I'll have stuff wrong. Alright, I'm just going to go ahead and do the stretch. We're not going to go through the whole explanation this one. I do usually do at least one time during stream that when I go to do my stretches, I explain what they are, why you should consider doing them, or similar, and then like how to do this set of stretches. But if you're curious, they're median nerve glide stretches. They're to prevent certain types of repetitive stress injury, such as carpal tunnel, meridian nerve compression, and tennis elbow. The Aeon worm, it would be Royale with cheese, so not Royal, but Royale, so E on the end. With cheese, I believe TV for YouTube. I could be wrong with that. I know the character he was playing, and that was Bill Murray. I don't know what the title of the video is. I don't have a problem with, like, if someone has that video or whatever. Yeah, like, that's fine, let me know. Well, actually, just, you can whisper it to Aeon Worm. Because, like, absolutely, like, we share a lot of community members with Rual. We could do a video clip. That is not a bad idea. I would say we could do a clip on stream, but the stretches take 2 whole minutes, so you know. Clips can only be, I believe, was it 30 seconds or 1 minute at the max? I don't remember. It's not long. I think it's 1 minute, but 30 seconds is the default. Like, it starts at 30 seconds, you could say, no, I want more. Yeah. But that I could do. I could do an explanation of what it is. Like, just kind of go through it without holding it for the 30 seconds. And then, like, do it properly. And then I could just... Yeah. I mean, I do like kind of explaining it on stream. Because getting people to click away to do links and all that kind of stuff generally just means it's going to get less, you know, not many people are going to do it. And I can't tell you how many people have been like, oh, I've started doing your stretches. Oh my god, they change everything. Like, especially if you're dealing with things that are likely to cause, like, carpal tunnel and all that. So, if you're doing stuff that requires, like, lots of fine motor movement in your hands, so sewing, knitting, long-term typing, like, lots of repetitive stuff like that, it'll help. It'll also help if you do anything that ends up with vibrations going in your hands, so power tools, long hours driving, pressure washing, that kind of stuff. Like, those are the ones where it's like, no, seriously, you probably, like, if you're doing... It doesn't matter, like, if you're doing the stretches I do, you should be doing some kind of stretches periodically. Because what causes stuff like carpal tunnel and that, specifically carpal tunnel, other RSI have different issues, is, you have the median nerve that goes through your carpal tunnel. It's like a tube that your ligaments go through for your fingers. That one has a hunting knife. What happens is that tube can get inflamed, which, you know, causes it to expand, causes it to get all irritated, but it goes through this very, very narrow passage called the carpal tunnel, which is just this bone tunnel through your wrist. And when it gets to a point that's nearly like filling up that tunnel, and you're still moving around your ligaments, it's just sawing on the sides of it, ruining it, which can cause absolutely debilitating levels of pain, as well as a loss of strength in your hands and all sorts of stuff. So if you get those little tube all limber, so it doesn't get all inflamed, you don't do nearly as much damage. Because it does heal itself, it's just, you can damage it way faster than it can heal. That said, I don't think it's a bad idea that we make a clip for it and, you know, make that available. Like, maybe what I'd do is, like, once per stream, I'd actually, like, explain it. Or if someone, like, in chat was, like, to ask about it, I'd explain it. But otherwise, like, the rest of the times I do it, each time someone cashes in a stretch, I just give Nightbot a command or something that explains it. Or just, you know, links the clip. That's not a bad idea. There's a few things, like, I have the beginner spiel, which always goes way over a minute. And that's something I definitely like covering in stream. But I could certainly making, like, that would probably have to be a highlight. It's like one time when I do the beginner spiel, like, someone takes the moment to, like, just mark it down. Did I ever get... Yeah, I don't have the marking. I tried to set up my stream deck so I could just push a button to mark spots in the stream. Because, like, that's a thing that's recommended, is that you take the moment to, like, mark spots in the stream, like, oh, you found a katana, or, oh, this is when you passed, you know, 50,000 zombie kills, or, you know, moments you might want to either clip or do stuff like that. And that can be good for when you're trying to, like, make a highlight reel. I've been terrible about highlight reels. Like that is the one thing, is if I want to put YouTube content up, I have to stream less to do that. Because streaming 11 hours a day does not leave me time to do anything but stream when it comes to this. Oh, that is one busy window over there. Yeah, that's what becomes a zombie bomb down there. That right there is the danger zone. Because what happens when you get close to that is there's actually more zombies in that spot than appear to be in that spot. And so when you get close enough, they just, like, balloon out in all directions. Huh. We're getting, like, anxious. That's interesting. Why are we anxious? That's new. Oh, right. Never mind. What am I talking about? That's not anxious. We're panicking. Yeah, no, I was misreading my moodles. Yeah, so all these that looks terrifying. You know how I was saying I don't think there's actually like 20-30,000 zombies at? I would just like to go on the record that I'm now retracting that comment. I have changed my mind. I do believe there's probably 20-30,000 zombies in there. Just that one look in that set of prison rooms down there, and seeing was clearly at least 100 zombies down there going, you know what? Never mind. I was just sitting here going, I'm not really seeing any zombies. I don't see how there could be that many. I retract that statement. They cannot break the window, which is actually kind of the problem. So they will hit that window forever until you get close enough or do something that pulls them off the window. And the danger is, like I said, it looks like there's 10-20 zombies banging on that window, but the problem is they start clipping through each other, where there's actually way more zombies on the window. And that's how you get what's called a zombie bomb. So, for context, let's pretend this AC is a window, and you see like 5-10 zombies packed here. When I get to about this far away from that AC, the zombies, I'm close enough now that they aggro, so they turn around, and then the game kind of sits there and goes, wait a second. Oh. And it can like literally be a wave of zombies that just overwhelms you before you can move. Like I've not seen it at the scale we're going to see it here. I've had it much smaller. Cole says, am I the only one concerned? I'm a concern on my well-being because my roommate has not been talkative he's not spoken a whole sentence to me, and he comes for half hour and lives like 3-4 hours. I'm sorry, I must be misreading that. It's interesting that we're a nervous wreck, because we haven't taken an injury. Why are we a nervous wreck? I'm glad I made this hole through the wall up here. Because we haven't taken an injury. Hey, Rual, ignore this raid. Okay. Weird. Just being... Oh, testing a new button? So that's a new one. I didn't know you could get nervous by being around zombies like that. Like panicked and all that, absolutely. But we were nervous. Like when we were near the prison, our character was like super duper stressed out. But not once did we hit panicked over there. Huh. That's a new experience for me. I'm sure Chad's like, you didn't know about this? Like, everyone knows about this. And I'm just like, well, this is Project Zomboid. It's like Path of Exile, where you play 1,000 hours and you learn base mechanics that you just didn't know about. Could you all mind your manners? I would like to make progress. And you all are bogarting it. And I have been asked to ignore this raid by Pankuraru, so it has been ignored. Did you give yourself, like, a raid button on your stream deck? Wait, did you, like, hard-code a raid button for my channel? I mean, I'm flattered if you did. But... Denzi saying, you killed 5k zombies in a month? I think so. Pretty sure. I don't actually know, like, what rate... I haven't, like, this year, like, this time down here, I've been basically not paying attention to since we hit a year. So I do not know when the, like, someone else I'm sure is like, oh yeah, you totally did. Well, thank you for that. I am surprised I have a hard-coded button on someone to be like, to raid this person. Very flattering. Yep, no, I gotcha. Alright, give me a moment to catch up with chat. No, but it's really cool. Okay, so I should push the button right, and then the Stream Deck keys on display of all the people I'm following that are on... Ooh. Ooh. That's a cool button. I like that. That's a cool button. Yeah, that's the thing at first, was like, wait a second. I'm not aware of a screen on Stream Deck or something where I can like go through a list of people to follow or something. Or raid. I was just like, wait a second, did you like hard code my name in there? Still, that's awesome. I dig it. Just making ourselves salad behind the wheel. Ninja Cookie. I want a button. Yeah, I got about 5 button slots I could do something. Like, 'cause I got a button here to force the credits to roll, but it doesn't work half the time. Because Streamlabs credits, while amazing, are also a bit of a hot mess. Would you stop being anxious? So I think what was happening, what was causing us to be anxious, is we weren't seeing the zombies, but we were just watching them or hearing them slam on the door again and again and again. And it was just like slowly making our character panicked. What about the trapdoor button? Look, we don't. They're not gonna fall for the trap door if they know it's there. I've only got like the one carpet. Or a rug or whatever it is. I have to replace it every time. It's really inconvenient. The rug falls in when the trapdoor goes down, and it gets all wet and gross. And then people just like walk around the rug because, you know, it's this wet, gross rug. It is Florida. The thing takes forever to dry. Lucia's like, oops, of course. Shaking my head. Negro said, I did put in a panic button. Thank you for that, Rual. Mine's Star Trek theme. Voyager Red Alert. Oh, I didn't... like, it has no theming. For me, it's just it sets it to emote, then clears the chat, and I do it that way just in case, like, someone drops a message right in those, like, second or two it takes to flip things. But, then there's all that. Darsher, then put a large rug. Yeah, but the person's standing on it. So, like, when you open the trapdoor, if it goes over the edges, the rug, like, kind of gives a little weight, and they're standing on it, so it still falls in. It's a whole thing. Like, in hindsight, trapdoor is probably not the best trap to go with. Like, a little dart trap would probably be more reasonable. Just, piff, person drops, and then you deal with them however you deal with them. And, like, the trapdoor also has, like, you have to have this big area underneath it. And I'm not sure if you heard about, like, making basements in Florida or whatever, but the water table's really high here. So you gotta, like, really reinforce that to, like, with a proper retaining wall. Otherwise, just the water will absolutely collapse your basement area. Oko said, I saw the zombies and they looked away. When you saw them again, it looks like it bumped, I think it bumped up to panic. Yeah, so what I'm thinking happens is while we look at the zombies, our character panics. And that's normal. Like, I see that all the time. Cool. Like, that's normal behavior. It was that we got anxious. Anxious about the only times I see anxious is when we wake up from a nightmare or we got the zombie. Now, what I'm thinking happened is we didn't see. Like, it's like when we weren't looking at the zombies, but we're just hearing all the banging on the window. My character knows that the zombies are there, but they're not seeing them, so it's making them super anxious. I'm like, all right, that makes sense. Oh yeah, you can